Duke Butler was a standout Aggie golfer from 1968 to 1970 and a 1969 Southwest Conference champion. He went on to a PGA career and then became the tournament director for the Houston Open, as well as the executive director of the Houston Golf Association. His service to the game continued when he became the senior vice president of the PGA Tour. An inductee into the Texas Golf Hall of Fame, he is still giving back to the game today. And tonight, the Bryan, Texas native is recognized here in Aggieland. Ladies and gentlemen, Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Duke Butler.
Thank you, Andrew, and what a wonderful occasion. I'm not easily overwhelmed, but tonight is very special. I wish my parents were here. These co-conspirators nominated me. This Randy Lee and Todd Riddle, former friends of mine. When Todd contacted me in January, he said, Duke, Randy and I are going to nominate you for an award with the Lettermen Association. And I said, well, Todd, Buddy Payne was president in 1988, and I was still working in Houston. I was nominated for an award and very complimented. I didn't receive it, and he got back to me after the ceremony and said, Duke, we're going to conduct due diligence. And I said, I didn't know it was going to take 36 years. But Todd convinced me to put my name up for the award by suggesting that the honoree would win a dozen donuts from Shipley's. Here you go, Todd. Please refill prior to kickoff. You guys get down off this. Get down off. It's 11:45 kickoff, Todd. Please refill. My father was legendary. Part of the West Campus is named in his honor, the Dr. O.D. Butler Animal Science Research Center. My mother was equally statured, grew up in Bryan, married O.D. when he came home from World War II, and hole in his foot, blown in from Germany. And they got married in 1943 on January 16th, and my sister and brother and I have been fortunate to have the most wonderful parents in the history of the world. They built a home in College Station in 1954, 700 Thomas, enabling me to walk or ride my bike to elementary, junior high, high school, college, and the golf course. I can tell my life story in 10 seconds or less. April 23, 1962 was a big day for me. My junior high golf team left at 5:30 a.m. from Consolidated and went to North Houston to play a tournament at Brock Park. I had a good round, 79, and tied for second. We finished about noon, and we asked our coach, B.B. Holland, to take us to Memorial Park, where the Houston Classic was being determined in an 18-hole playoff. The contestants were a famous Aggie golfer, Bobby Nichols, class of '57, an attorney from Jacksonville, Florida, Dan Sykes, and a heralded rookie who had not yet won on tour, Jack W. Nicklaus. Bobby won that playoff. He and Dan tied with 71, Jack shot 76. And Bobby and Dan went down a 19th hole that Monday and eagled it, and I thought that moment was the happiest of my life. On the ride home with Coach Holland, I said, this is the most fun day I've ever had. I'm going to dedicate my life to the great game of golf, and I've never wavered. My heroes were the A&M golfers ahead of me, 3 of whom are here this evening. Please stand and wave Jeff Andrick, John Buffin, and Brian Lee McDowell. They're still heroes of mine. My best friend in college and roommate and teammate, Richard Ellis, is here. And our team won the '69 Southwest Conference Championship. Please wave, Richard. The 6th championship that the Aggie golfers won in the 1960s Southwest Conference. I got to know the golf business pretty well, and I was fortunate to win a scholarship from Houston Golf Association, partial scholarship, and I was able to play on the A&M team. It was a dream come true. During the social evening this evening, several people asked me if I knew the great Scotty Scheffler, and what can you attribute to his success? He won 8 tournaments this year, including the Masters and the gold medal in the Olympics. He's married to an Aggie. I was able to work for Houston Golf Association 14 years, and Commissioner Dean Beeman hired me to work for PGA Tour, which I did for another 16 years, and then worked a tournament in California. And I had my fingerprints on it, but it was the volunteers, sponsors, and everybody involved. But during my 40-year affiliation with PGA Tour, we contributed $2 billion to charity. I want to introduce my family members and my greatest supporters. My wife Sheila is here. Sheila couldn't get into A&M, but she had to go to Princeton, where she played #1 on the golf team for 4 years. My brother Jim and Allison are here. Please wave. My cousin Don Jones and Macy, Richard and Donna Ellis, and my teammate Mike McAmel and his wife Martha. Son Duke Butler IV is back there, videographer. He lettered for A&M as a freshman and then transferred to Florida, where he played on a major NIL deal for a 6-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper. I want to give special thanks to my Aggie mentors, in addition to my father, Joe Fagan. Mr. Fagan built the A&M golf course and for nearly 2 decades served as its first professional. He gave me my first job at age 14. His son Peter is here tonight. Peter, please wave. Coach Henry Ransom won 5 PGA Tour tournaments and 2 4-ball tournaments, one of the greatest ball hitters of all time, and he was inspiring to all of us. Travis Bryan Jr., local amateur, chairman of the First National Bank of Bryan. I hear some of you acknowledging him. I must have played 350 rounds with Mr. Bryan, and he was really good for the 30 years we played those rounds. Someone who really taught me a lot. Henry Richards from Jacksboro, Texas, was a mentor of mine. And the great Paul Wahlberg from Houston, an architect, big supporter of the Texas A&M golf team and the Houston Open. I congratulate the other honorees tonight. Winning the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Texas A&M Lettermen Association is the greatest compliment of my life. I now ask the former Texas A&M golfers and coaches to stand. We're going to lead the group in an Aggie yell. Please stand, my teammates and former Aggies. I want you to see what real athletes look like. All right, this one's pretty easy to remember. It's called Yay Gigamaggies. Ready?